and welcome to this live event today where we're going to talk about valuable Phygital collectible platform. With me today I have Patrick from Proxid, who is going to tell us more about their marketplace that they have built on Concordium called Cypress Me that we're super excited about. So, Patrick,
yes,
really happy to have you here in Copenhagen with us.
Glad I'm here.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Who is Patrick?
Yes,
and
of course.
More about Proxid and Cypress Me, please.
Yeah, well, to start with myself, I'm Patrick Terranea. I'm founder of Proxid and head of product of the project Cypress Me, which launched in November. And well, what it is, it's a platform for real-world assets which you can mint on the blockchain. That's it.
Yes.
That's very short. Yeah.
And Proxid, what's the relationship between Proxid and Cypress Me?
Yeah, that's a Web3 development agency. We build Web3 solutions, which of course Concordium is a big chain we are using to make it a safe haven for collectors. We work closely together with Royal Enschede. I know it's difficult to pronounce, but it's a 3 centuries old printing company situated in Holland and well known for its banknotes and stamps production and high security printables. We work closely together with them, and I will tell you more about what we did with Cypress Me in a few minutes. Yeah.
Really exciting. So, we have spoken a little about Cypress Me, but please tell us more about this really interesting and cool marketplace. I know everyone who's listening in is really interested to know more about this.
Yeah. All right. So what we did, we cooperated with Royal Enschede and the Deutsche Post, DHL, making a crypto stamp. And the crypto stamp is actually a real-world stamp, and I got an example here. It's a booklet in which you have the real stamp you can put on an envelope and send it. But there are 2 codes on it here. That's a public ID and a claim code or PIN code, which can be used to get that digital or digitalized image of in this case, the Brandenburger Tor in your collection. And from there you can mint it for free into an NFT.
Yeah, really cool. And I mean, it's a really good use case for it as well, because then you can store all of it, and we will talk more about it. And you will also show us a demo of the platform.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think if we go into more about the booklet that you just showed.
Yeah, I gladly tell you more about it. Actually, when you look at it, it's just made of paper. It's sealed, so it's secure. There are a lot of extras on it. That means there are special codes which the German Post have developed. That's called a data matrix code. So every stamp on this booklet is already unique. And when you follow all the instructions on the booklet, you first scan with your camera the URL. Then you will be guided towards the German Post website, and from there on you can go to Cypress Me, enter the claim code, get it to your collection, and mint the NFT for free. Actually, it's quite simple. It's a very user-friendly platform. And now we are getting into the more exciting stage, and that's building our marketplace on Concordium.
Yes, exactly. Because I know right now it says MetaMask wallet and Polygon chain, but you will talk more about what's coming in 2024,
of course,
which will be also to adding this into the Concordium ecosystem, which we're super excited about. So,
yes, well, that's actually especially also a little bit for this broadcast. We have made some promo stamps. So we made booklets ourselves, and those booklets are actually, we give them out for people to experience the easiness of making an NFT of a real world asset. and we call them the parrots. And we got 2 of them, and we made a video to show you guys how it works to scan or enter the code and claim it to your collection and then make it an NFT. So maybe we can go forward to that
demo.
Yeah, that's the demo.
So now we're going to show a demo where you showcase this in the the.
So this is the booklet, just like this. You can see the codes on the right side. You can see the instructions and why it's so unique. When you scratch off the code on the right bottom, you can make an account on Cyphers.me, and when you sign in to your account, you can actually scan the QR code on the booklet or add the code manually. In this case, this is the desktop version, so we enter it manually. Then you can see here it's not claimed and not minted, but when you put in the claim code, it's yours. It's in your collection, it's visible, and you can see that it's yours. Then you can, here you see it's yours there, it's claimed, it's not minted yet. When you connect, in this case it's MetaMask, later on it's Concordium as well. You can create an NFT of the stamp, and you will see the picture will change, and every picture when you minted it gets a unique token ID, in this case 0411, with all the details on the chain. So actually it's a very intuitive process, it's easy, it's understandable, and everybody can do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what I really like about this, as you showed here on the demo, is that as a user, it's very user-friendly, because it gives you a feeling of what you're used to when it comes to Web 2, and then you've just added it into the Web 3 world, which I love. So in one platform, in one product, I as a user can go in and I can add my stamp and I can mint it, and then in the future I can also sell it as an NFT if you want to purchase it or not, or if I just want to add it there. So that's really, really cool and really interesting, and I'm super excited to have Concordium added on top of this as well.
We are also super excited to add Concordium, because it's a blockchain that gives us, and also our collectors, a safe haven to collect their valuable collectibles. So we are really aiming on those collectibles that are worth more for a collector. So that can be rare whiskeys or wines or champagnes, it can be vinyl records, it can be anything. Yeah,
definitely. So what's the next steps then for Cyphers.me, and what can we expect in 2024?
Well, actually we start with building the platform, the marketplace, where you can actually get your real world assets as an NFT. So registration, provenance, ownership, that will all be minted on the Concordium chain, because there's a real world identity added, linked to the wallet. It's a very safe haven for collectors to start collecting their valuable collectibles. So that's the planning for the first quarter of next year. During that year we will also go to add more business lines. We started now with crypto stamps. We also go to banknotes. We'll show you later on what we do with that. But there are also other plans. Just I said, well, the liquors and the vinyl records, and we got a lot of plans and business lines lined up for next year. Yeah.
It's super exciting. I mean, you've built this platform now as a product, and then of course you can add more things on top of it. And I think it's just endless use cases, and it's more about prioritizing what could be the next big thing that can hit Cyphers.me, which is extremely interesting. I mean, I like watches, so you can add watches to it as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You can register them, you can have your provenance on chain. You can show it's yours because it's in your wallet, and that you are the owner of it. So it's got a lot of goodies for collectors.
Definitely. Yeah. So I know all of us here at Concordium are really, really excited that you partnered with us and that you see us as a trusted partner and a blockchain where you definitely want to build on top of it, top of. But I think it's always interesting to hear it from the company itself. So why Concordium, and why are you so like enthusiastic about building on top of us, which we're super happy about.
Well, actually, we discovered Concordium, I think, almost 2 years ago already. And then I was into the notary world to make deeds much easier than only on paper. So we discovered Concordium, with which you have a wallet with a real world identity linked to it. That will be the perfect pair, you know, the notary and then the real world identity that's linked to the transaction. So that was the start of us thinking, how can we use Concordium for other use? And actually we then started working together, cooperated with Royo and Enschede, and they had, well, stamps. Well, stamps is still one of the biggest collectibles worldwide. So we thought that's a good market to join in with Jo and Enschede. And around that topic, crypto stamps, we start building the whole Cybersme idea. Then we found our first customer, that's Deutsche Post DHL, and they prefer to go to another chain than Concordium. And then, well, we came along because we wanted to develop the Cybersme platform. And now they are live, and you can buy that crypto stamp from the Deutsche Post now. We are now developing our marketplace on Concordium. And we also looking, of course, forward to also add the Polygon minted NFTs on that marketplace, which is based on Concordium. But the thing is why Concordium is I say valuable for us is that we see it's the best tech in the industry. It's got instant finalization, which is very important with valuable objects and valuable NFTs. It's the fast transaction speed that's very valuable to us as well, and the low transaction costs. Well, that speaks for itself.
Yeah, definitely, and we're super happy about that. And I myself, of course, like the best tech in the industry. I believe so, but it's always fun to hear someone else say it. And
Absolutely.
I agree with you. Instant finalization is definitely extremely important when it comes to this platform and for the user, like the user experience of it. You don't want to have to wait. Even 10 seconds would be
that's annoying.
A lot in all fair sense. So I would say our finalization of 3 seconds make it feel instant, which is good for the user, of course. So if we then jump back to Cybersme and talk a little about the benefits that you had when you did the marketplace and what you're seeing as a really big user from a user perspective, and then if you talk about the publishers, what's the key highlights you want to add to that?
Yeah, what we see out there is that there's a lot of fragmentation when it comes to platforms and marketplaces. Actually, we are aiming at being a one-stop solution. So if you want, as a brand or a producer or an issuer or a publisher, when you want to bring out there something in the Web3 world, we want to be a one-stop solution. So you bring your products to us, and we help you get it on the Web3. And also, what I also stated here, we help you with the international sales and marketing. And also, very important, when you have real world assets, it's just the asset, but with NFTs, you can add utility to them, you know, special, attractive actions. And that's really what we are all about for the publishers with our Web3 innovation. And well, the high security, well, that's of course the Concordium. And for example, in this case with banknotes, or we call them event notes, and also those crypto stamps, we have the best design and we have the best printing facility. So it's really a one-stop shop.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. What we touched base on when we saw the demo about the ease of use of it and high security of, yes, it is the blockchain, which is always good to add in, which is good for publishers. But I know also when we talk about the users, that's also good for trust, to know that, hey, this is actually the deal that I bought. So no scamming, so to speak. So if we then jump on to the collectors, what would you say is the biggest benefits for them?
I already said it, I think, twice or 3 times. It's a safe haven. Well, you know, when you're collecting valuables, you don't want to trust them to a Web 2 application which is central. No, you want a decentralized solution which is very safe. And if you buy something on the marketplace, you want to be sure that there's a human behind it and that you're not getting scammed a bottle of tea instead of whiskey when you pay a lot of money for it. So that's actually what the collectors will attract. And that's already, we get feedback from collectors saying when do you open up your marketplace so we can start adding our valuable collectibles to it because it's safe. We are all about the best user experience. We got very knowledgeable user experience builders, UI UX designers on our team. And what also is very important, and you saw that in the, well, or not, it went very fast, but you saw that you can add the real world asset, the digital version of it, to your collection. So you can really make collections of, for example, stamps, but also rare whiskies or instruments or whatever real world assets, and then you can mint it. So there's a step before you can mint it, and that is, well, a decision of the collector.
Yeah.
That's a decision the collector have to make. So we give options in how you want to build your collection. For a lot of collectors, it's their first step in the Web3 space. So it's also educational. When you have a collection and you want to make the NFT of it, you have to do things. You've got to have a wallet, you have to do your identification, and then suddenly it's an NFT. So it's very educational as well. And of course, what we're all about, and that's our ambition, we want to be a valuable collectible platform that's worldwide available for every collector. And the other thing is, that's the last one, of course, community. Web3 is all about community. Our community of collectors should have the shoulders under the platform to make it work worldwide.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that you mentioned that I think is interesting to just highlight with the platform is, as a collector, I can actually go in and open up an account and add my collections to it without having to have the company first advantage, right? Like imagine that I have a whiskey collection, I can actually go in and add it to the platform and then mint it and sell it myself without you guys having to go to the company and tell them to be on the platform. Is that correct? Because I think that's very important to.
Yeah, it's good that you say
highlight.
That. Yeah. Well, first of all, we want to have real world assets on our collectible or collectors platform that are really brought to us by the producers themselves.
Yes.
In order to get that provenance, in order to give the collectors the real world assets and not scammed assets.
Yeah.
So we will see how that develops the next couple of months. We got some things lined up, so bear with us on that. But I think it's good to know that the things we bring to our marketplace, they are backed up by the issuers, the publishers, or the producers themselves. So if you have for example, your watch and you want to bring it to our valuable collectible platform or marketplace, it should be verified it's a real Rolex.
Exactly. So, but it could be verified by me as a user having that license, like, hey, this is actually the real, and I always get that when I buy like high-end items, and then I can bring that to the platform and show that as a proof. Or it could be that you first say, no, we want to get the watchmaker on the platform first. So, but you're going to be able to do both, if I understood correctly, as long as I can prove that I have the license, that it is actually what I'm telling you it is, and you can verify that. Yeah. Which I think is interesting, because that opens up also two cases, right? Like if you're going to have a lot of collectors coming into the marketplace and pushing that, it might also make the brand aware of, hey, this is actually something that our collectors are asking for, so we should also look into this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot of things to do, especially with valuable products. Well, we dare everybody who have a good idea bringing on valuable collectibles, also the brands and producers, bring it on, because we are ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it, and I really like when it's all in one platform, because as you were mentioning, you can also build your digital collection.
Yeah.
But it could also be, now that you have Deutsche Post, it could also be like, as a company, you could actually utilize the power of Web3 and the digital power, because now you have your customer on a platform.
Yeah.
So what if you tell your customers that if you get 10 of these collectibles, you actually can join a members club that is like a gold VIP, and we only have worldwide 100 who can join this group.
Yeah.
And then with that you have a closed group, and you've reached an international audience.
Yeah.
But you didn't really have to do the manual steps that's required today. You actually just have it there, because the numbers speak for itself, which is really cool. I'm really excited to see the future of this marketplace and how it's going to change our behavior as well as human beings.
Absolutely, I think so too.
Yeah.
It gives also more confidence in the online world. That's what it's all about, you know. And you see that the Web 2 world, the marketplaces you have now there, it's all not actually verified, or the provenance is not in place, or you get scammed very easily. That will be all solved with Web 3 and change like Concordium.
Definitely.
And that's what we're aiming to.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. So I'm really excited for the next one you want to show.
Right, yes.
So augmented reality. I know when you showed me this note that Patrick's going to show soon, I thought it was really exciting and cool. So tell us more about the augmented reality that you are planning to also add to the marketplace.
Yeah, actually we already have that. It's developed together with Royo and Enschede for their security products. You can add augmented reality to almost every surface. When on the surface, it will be recognized by printing or connecting the dots. It will be recognized and it will show in the camera your augmented reality object. And it's fascinating, and we can do a lot of, already did, we're also doing a lot of very exciting stuff with it. And it can also bridge your real world asset to an NFT again. Mm-hmm. So, and also for these booklets which we have, or other ideas, we also use NFC chips, which you can scan with your phone. There's an antenna on it, and you can scan it, and that's also a bridge from a real world asset to the NFT of the world of NFTs. So, but adding augmented reality, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And we made a clip of it, and you can I show you what happens when you open up your camera and scan those banknotes. Okay, this is still, you need an app for it, but we also have augmented reality where you don't need an app. That's really an online experience without a native app. So here it shows a dragon which pops up when you scan with your camera the note. It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I was super fascinated with you showed.
Yeah, there's also sound with it, but we couldn't show it here, but it's really fascinating.
Oh, it makes a sound as well.
Yeah. So another one is the green one I brought. There's also printed lines on it, which will be recognized when you scan it with that app, and then it shows there it goes. It shows a guy who's dancing on your banknote. Yeah. And we have a lot of other projects made with augmented reality. These are just small examples, but it's fun, it's fascinating. Everybody likes it, and we are going to do more with that on printed surfaces.
I mean, it's just adding an extra layer on collectible items, right? Yeah. Like, when you showed me the dragon, I felt like I was like Pokemon World. We have to get them all.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could just see, like, if I have 10 dragons to collect, I could just add all of them, and then the 10 dragons together can create this universe. Absolutely. Almost. Like, that's so cool. Or
an entrance to a VR world or a metaverse.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of things possible. Yeah.
I think that was everything that you wanted to share today. Yeah. Of course, we can talk so much more about the future and what can be added, etc. But thank you so much again for coming, Patrick, and talking more about Surface Me and giving us this demos.
Yeah.
We do have some questions, so we're going to go ahead and take them now.
Yep.
And also, if we don't get along doing all questions, we will make sure to answer all of them on our social media, so stay tuned as well. But we do have some time to go through at least 3 questions today. So the first one that is in is, how does Surface Me plan to leverage the unique features of the Concordium blockchain, particularly regarding privacy and regulatory compliance?
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of questions in one line.
Yes.
Actually, I can elaborate a lot about that. The first things we saw on Concordium was the link of the identity to the transactions. And if you only think of those two, that you are responsible for the transaction you do on the chain, and if you commit fraud, you could be identified and brought to, to justice. When you think only on that mechanism, there's a lot of things going to work, especially in my brain. That's why I started with notary. You know, that's one of the branches where you need a very fundamental and basic and secure environment, and that's what Concordium brings to us. So now this is fun stuff, you know, the collectibles are fun stuff, but just imagine that you have something that is so special to you, which is very valuable to you, and you want to show it to the world that's yours, and you want to sell it also, or to want to list it for sale. You don't do it on an open blockchain like there are out there. You want to do it on a safe chain, and that's really, Concordium, of course, for us.
Yeah. No, I agree. But it's as well it's also the person who's purchasing the collectible.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also needs to be able to trust it, and that you're storing it safe and all of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there's also another question in it that's about legal and that kind. That's a whole different.
Ball plank.
No, a new live event like this,
It is.
what you can talk about the legal stuff behind NFTs and images and collectibles and how to deal with that. So that's too much to answer now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think that is also one of the things you guys have to think about.
No,
because we're providing
we
the platform, and then you have to be the experts in following compliance regulations, and every country has its own regulatory rules, which also will be followed in Surface Me. So definitely, it's a lot to take in place. So with that said, it's not just like it is a really, really hefty platform, and it is powered by a lot of different areas. So
absolutely, we already went through a lot of legal and compliance with the Deutsche Post DHL.
Definitely.
So we're really familiar with that, but regulation can change over time. We never know what we're going to get. Yeah.
So second question is, can you explain the process of converting real-world assets into NFTs on your platform? What type of assets are best suited for this? We did touch base on that, but maybe you can give a little more details into that.
Yeah, well, one of my special favorites are those real-world assets that are very common for most of us, like wines, spirits, or liquors, or crypto stamps, or stamps in this case, or notes. One of my favorites, of course, is to make the bridge from real-world asset to NFC as easy as possible. And so if you ask me which assets are most suitable, well, actually, you can NFT anything you want. But make it a safe bridge in order that it's guaranteed that the real-world object is linked to the NFT, vice versa. That's a whole different area. So for now we are aiming at the valuable collectibles, because that's a market I think that's a lot of in development, and there's a lot to do. But you can take it to other higher levels if you want by using more technology, and we'll see how that develops in the next couple of years.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you also talked about like that you can actually bridge over the chip as well to
Yeah, the
Denmark.
NFC chip.
Exactly, the NFC chip, and that then in itself, if you have the NFC chip on the real world asset, like wine or collectible whiskeys, you can actually add them to the platform, and then you can mint them, and there you have your NFT. So now we've actually done all that transfer on Cypher.me.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to do that in 2024, if I
absolutely. And what we already discussed about is also the track and trace ability. You know, when it goes out of the factory, and it's an NFT, you can use also track and traceability added to it. If the chip is on it, you can track and trace it anywhere within the logistic process until it's on your table.
Yes, definitely.
And sell it again. So there's a lot of improvement in track and traceability.
Yeah, and then you can also trust like how many resellers was that before I bought it, which is something that you also always usually look into that, like how many own this collectible, because that's a big thing as well, and who owned it before me. And now you can actually be sure that that is the case, and no one actually did something fraudulent on it. So
exactly,
the use cases are really endless in my opinion.
Endless. Yeah,
definitely. So we have one more question before we end it, and that is, what is the biggest challenges and opportunities you see in linking real-world assets with NFTs? I mean, we touched base on it now, but maybe we can extend on that.
Well, every object that is dear to you, actually, that's where we're aiming at. That people really want their valuable collectibles be safe. Not only registered, the provenance, the ownership, the authenticity, but also when you trade it or sell one on our platform, that it's secure. So that's really, well, I think the main USPs, unique selling points of our platform, or unique buying reasons, whatever you like. No, that's where we are going for in 2024. Yeah,
definitely. But it's really cool, and we touched base on it as well. I think a lot is going to happen in 2024, and honestly, in 2025, we're going to see very much change in human behavior and how we as human beings also work with this. And one of the things that I was just thinking about hearing you dare to you, I'm guessing also in the future it's going to be, what do I want my children or grandchildren to inherit, and you start thinking about that as well. It's not just about putting it on paper, but actually putting it on a platform where I know it's secure and
forever there for them.
Exactly. Yeah. So I know they don't have to deal with it when I'm no longer here, right? So I think we're going to go into that as well in the future.
Yeah, and another thing I like to add before we leave is that the other exciting thing about NFT is that you can make a digital twin of your real world asset, and you can bring it with you in all those new worlds.
Definitely.
In the game worlds, VR worlds, metaverses. So that's also very exciting utility that's added to NFTs, and there's a lot utility to be added more, but maybe that's not a live event as well.
It is, but it's also interesting because I think it touches the bridge about augmented reality and NFT that you just showed, because then it's like you yourself is the augmented reality, and then you can also prove that it's you, and it's not that, hey, I'm actually making a version of Patrick who isn't Patrick, and then I'm going around trolling people, as we say in the internet era.
Yeah. No.
Thank you again, Patrick, for joining us here in Copenhagen, and thank you all for joining this live event. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know what you thought about it, and what your thoughts are on real-world assets, and just NFTs generally. This is super exciting. We hope you really enjoyed it, and have a really good day. Bye-bye.